almost had a perfect 5 in a row. Oh man, that sucks. Could you imagine? I caught that on stream.
Here they come, clickety-clack down the track. It's lots and lots of trains. 2 of the greatest train videos we've ever offered. And now through this special TV offer, you get 2 videos for the price of 1. You'll get big trains, little trains, steam trains, diesel freight and passenger trains, even trains that blow through snow. Old trains, new trains, fast trains, slow trains, smoking trains, and even trains from the world. Plus toy trains, trolley trains, and much, much more. When you order, lots and lots of trains. Hear the whistle blow, feel the heat, smell the smoke as these titans of track thunder on by. You'll love lots and lots of trains. And remember, this spectacular tube tape set is not available in stores. So hop on board and get 2 great tapes for 1 great price. Get lots and lots of...
I've been meaning to catch that fire. Where's Zombie? I've been meaning to catch his fire. I've been meaning to catch that fire. Getting up there. Oh wait, no. Oh, I messed up. That's where I wanted to go. Alright, well I think I'm... Whoa! 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 That was crazy! I frame perfectly killed myself. Yo! That was a frame perfect death. Impossible! It's Sonic CD! Enjoy the drop sound. What was that? So am I supposed to fall at a specific point to get down there? That's what it seems like. He sounds like it's like a modified Tarzan. Hey there, buddy. You alright? You seem to be having some problems. Boy. Sorry, Jerry. The guard. And if you hold guard and hit like the here, just you can bring it out a little bit. Just like so you can see like both hands. If you hold guard, for example, and duck, top. You can grab if you hit G and a button. This is so nuts, man. This is truly ahead of their time.
Wow, wow, wow. Wow.
So you're familiar with this game, John? I didn't know if you had played it before. You said you enjoyed it, so I'm assuming you played it when it came out like a year ago. The demo really like entranced me. When I first saw the demo, I was like, yeah, this game's awesome. The options menu in particular, because the options menu looks like every like action replay cart that was on the Sega Saturn. And that when I saw that, I was like, yeah, you know your audience. You sold me instantly. It's such a neat little thing. Also, this game was made in Godot. This is the second time I've streamed a game using the Godot engine. The first one I played was that Super Mario Remaster, which they made that in Godot, and then this game was made in Godot. I didn't realize it at the time. You know, just to assumed it was a Unity game, but you know, it's not. Anyway, am I coming in all right? Am I coming in above the game audio? Just want to make sure before I start. Beautiful, thank you. I always gotta check my audio levels because lately, either by my error or just because I decided not to check my microphone, so in some of my recordings, I'm coming in like right under the music, which is not where I want to be. I want to be always audible. Anyway, here we go. I already been playing a little bit. I did half of the light courses, and hey, look at that, top 20%. Not too bad. I'm basically I kept playing them until I get to gold. So I'm gonna keep trying to do that. We'll see how long I can keep it up. And Ethiopia, are you serious? I was driving this guy. I think I had edited the color. Oh, you can just do it. Ooh, you can just edit the colors. Ooh. I didn't know. Choose my secondary color. There you go. Oh, look at that. What a cool car. I had adjusted the livery. I like that one. Although there's something to be said about straight lines. That's too much yellow. I think this is the proper amount of yellow. Oh, that's exactly what it's going for, actually. I think I played a demo of this during the demo things last year, and I'm pretty sure you were in that stream, Vector. But yeah, like as a refresher, this game is directly referencing everything Sega Saturn down to the options menu, which is replicating an action replay cart on the Sega Saturn, which when I first saw that, it kind of blew my mind. It made me laugh so hard. Anyway, we're a little further. These are all basically. Oh, hold on, I messed up. These are all basically sight reads. So I've not seen any of these, and I'm basically going to try to keep playing them until I get all golds. This game has a drift mechanic. The more that you drift without hitting stuff, the more your overall momentum builds up. I've noticed. And so maintaining your speed without crashing into things is like super important. Oh crap, oh crap. Did I screw up? Because it actually affects your top speed. Yeah, this garage is pretty confusing. Well, that's not cool. You turn the lights off. And you automatically see the ghosts for each of the levels, the upper levels or whatever. Did I screw up? I was doing so good. I was like way ahead of that dude. The physics on this game is goofy. Okay. Shoot. Anyway, this game came out a while ago. About a year ago, almost to the day. I played the demo at the Next Fest or the Demo Fest. Or, oh shoot, whatever it was called on Steam, and I thought it was great back then. I bought it basically at launch, and then I never really played it. Oh my god, that was close. Nice. And I was like, yeah, I need something to play on stream, so I figured this what better game than this, right? A lot of racing games coming out. Oh shoot, what the heck was this? Also, the soundtrack is really good. Bro, that's gonna mess me up, man. So John, what would you give this game? Like, what would you rate this game? How are you feeling it? And also, did you do everything? Like, did you complete all the stuff that you could complete with it? Bro, that guy's cooking me, man. I'm Silver Pace. I love you too, honey bunny. Oh no, no! Brother. Oh my god. Hold on, we got a message here that... Tell you, man. I'm telling you, they went crazy with the look of this game. It's really good. It's really, yeah, my auto mod is very, very... I give this game a kiss on the cheek and a skank on the floor. I think the fact that you said skank is what triggered it. There is I'm playing on the PC, so it's funny you should bring that up, Vec. There is the visual options. I'm playing on the PC option, right? That's one of the options in the options menu. I don't know if you remember, but the PC option is like unlimited draw distance, highest quality polys or whatever. But there are more. Oh, you can knock off that column. There are, in fact, like more closely targeting Sega Saturn aesthetics, and so you could, in theory, increase the dithering because it would be doing a Sega Saturn style. Oh, I went the wrong way. See, if you go, this is what I'm talking about. This Game Wizard Plus thing, the action replay. It's so funny. So if you go to visuals and then you change, you have like a bunch of like options on their game profile. You can do modern emulator. You can do original hardware, which is if you're doing original hardware, it's closer to like what a Sega Saturn might look like. You can do a handheld, which I don't even know what that looks like, but I'm using PC port because it's the highest fidelity. All right, and then you can then tweak. They call it the Sega Saturn port, the arcade port, and the PC port, right? So I'm just picking the quote unquote best for each thing. And I'm setting unlimited frame rate. But if I really wanted to play this like a quote-unquote Sega Saturn game, I could increase the dithering like a lot by changing the visuals to the Sega Saturn mode and lowering the frame rate to 30 frames, which would make for a worse game, but if you really wanted to do that, you could. So, yes. And also you got CRT crap, which I'm not going to use on stream because it's going to make everything look horrible. But it's there. It's there if you want it. Which is really, like I say, this is commitment to the bit, but like in a way that I appreciate, right? Because we're all about gaming literacy here. And even though, yes, this is a very much retro-inspired arcade-style racer, the fact of the matter is they went all out when they didn't need to, and it's really funny that they did. Yeah, I'm getting cooked by this dude. Is this like a garbage truck? Oh, this is a roof. Oh, man. Yeah, these stages are getting rough. Very tricky. That I don't understand. In his bed. Maybe he got out of his bed. Ah. Yeah, these guys are keyed in on the target. They have a very specific target demographic, and I probably would count myself amongst that target demo. But that was pretty good. Pick the other camera, Ceylon. I'm fairly certain that the music for this game was made for this game, but I don't know if... I'm pretty sure they had like an album release, and I'm a little concerned that the music is probably going to get caught by copyright or something. So I'm hoping it doesn't like mute the entirety of my stream, because that would be unfortunate. They hired like I forget the name of the ska band, but it's actually a relatively famous ska band to do their OST. Hopefully you guys can hear it all right. If I need to turn off the audio, I will, but you know, I'd rather not. Okay, first of all, I gotta figure out why this stupid gold guy is getting so far ahead of me so quickly. I need to copy his... I did. Can you check the camera and see? You have two cameras here. Oh man, I'm doing so bad. I'm behind 4 seconds on the gold pace. I mean, there is a top speed like thing. But yeah, I mean, like, yes, that the illusion of speed is defined by the speed lines. You would be right. That's what they do in animation. That's what they do in video games. Another trick they do is like lower the camera close to the ground. This is all visual tricks. I feel like the pace of the racing is like, yeah, I'm like way off, brother. Yeah, so the way it works, the drift, once you let the drift go, you get a speed boost for the length that you don't that you go uninterrupted. And the actual boost itself lasts, I think, like 2 or 3 seconds or something. So right there, I got a boost of speed. But the other thing that I'm figuring out is that, yeah, there's a boost of speed there. But there's like an overall like maximum to your top speed that if you maintain it stays for like the majority of the route, right? So I'm at 38 max speed. And of course, if I'm hitting, see, that was really tricky right there. Press the reset. Did I miss it? Are you kidding me? Oh. I don't know what sets the top speed. Like, my assumption is that as long as you maintain your top speed boosts for the majority of the race, then it'll keep it, you know. And then obviously the less things you hit, the better. But there's something that, you know, I can't say that that's actually how it works. I have to figure it out. I'm sure someone's figured it out by now. The game's been out for like a freaking year. But there are ways to like increase your speed like ridiculous amounts. Part of it is like ensuring that I just lost a bunch of speed there. See, oh god. That's crazy. I'm having trouble on this one because it's so big. Alright. If you pay attention to my speedometer on the top and the bottom left, You can see, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Maybe airtime is what's messing me up. Cars don't have stats. Oh, so there are three. There's three. Yeah, I mean, yes, but they separate it by. They separate each of the courses by car type. So right now we're doing all the light cars. Okay, there. What are they doing? How are they jumping? I'm playing all the light cars. Then there's a medium weight class, and then there's a heavy weight class. So each of the circuits is defined by the car type. But you have to finish, as far as I can tell, you have to finish the light before you can go to the medium, and then see right there. Is there like a button I need to press to like bounce? Or is he just like timing his boost that once he goes over the edge, he has enough juice to go? I think that's what's going on here. Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. He's timing his boost. He rides the boost the entire way, and then use that to leverage going over without having to hit that ramp, which puts him on the ground sooner, and I guess that maintains his speed. Well, it's the fact that I'm not supposed to hit that ramp. Hitting that ramp is what's slowing me down. Because the airtime is what's slowing me down. It's less about maintaining your boost and more about like making sure you get on the ground as soon as you can. But yeah, he's definitely using the. See that now? I maintain my top speed, and then I'm hitting the freaking side of the thing like way too fast. So that's okay. So I was not aware that hitting the ramp made you lose speed. That's really what it was. The problem is if you don't. So okay, so you have to drift to get a boost, but you have to cash in your boost, right? Because the drifting affects your top speed. That's what the trick is. That's what the nuance is. If you drift the entire way without ever cashing in a boost to give yourself a slight increase in your speed, then what's going to happen is you lose your overall upper limit to like what speed you can get. All right, so let's just follow. Let's see what this guy does. Like right there, that's clean. And I'm in the 41 mile per hour range right now, and then that second boost set me off like careening off into it. So what I was missing was I was losing speed by not maintaining my speed by hitting that first ramp. Right there, I just lost a bunch of speed. You technically lose speed when you start drifting. Oh, he just snuck in a little drift there. And I know you can cut corners and stuff. I don't know that terrain like matters that much. All right. Let's see if I can maintain. What? Okay, hold on, brother. That sucks. You don't keep pace, then you get blocked by the sign. All right, whatever that did boosted me to a top speed of 46, and now I'm going way too fast. I'm losing control there. I'm in the 50s, bro. I'm in the 50s. I'm redlining like crazy. All right, so you maintain momentum when you're in there while you're drifting. Oh no, I double tapped the drift. Shoot. Yeah, when I go uncontrollably on that second set of turns, that's when I'm in the 50s. Like when I start crashing into those cars. Not too much. I overdrifted. Yeah, this game gets surprisingly technical for such a basic premise. I keep trying to do it like closer to the edge. How is he doing that? Yeah, like some kind of trick bonus or whatever, like gives me like a little bit of a boost. Oops. Oh, I broke it. Never mind, I could do that. Okay. All right. But if I'm not going fast enough, I can't break it. Okay. Cool. That's new. I didn't know that. All right, so we're just going to be destructive then. That's good to know. See, but I'm not... I gotta, like, boost out of it at more of a linear angle. But that's good to know. I didn't know you could break the parking arms. Yeah, I keep hitting it way too late. Shoot, I messed up. How are they doing that? I did it. I was doing it so nicely at first, and now I can't replicate the angle that I was coming out of it. There we go. Oh, you freaking kidding me? I was going too fast? I was going too fast? Alright, we're gonna keep it moving. I was going too fast and I hit the edge of the parking garage. I hit the slab. There we go. I'm effectively using the drift button as a brake. Whoa, 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 no, dude, no! Oh, man. Did you see a ghost car moving? Just on that run? Did I just pass by, like, the bronze guy? I think I passed by the bronze dude. That's crazy. Alright, I'm getting a feel for how this game is supposed to work now. That's cool. Surprising amount of depth. Too much, too much. Alright, it's safer. Oh, wait, never mind. That's weird. Okay, yeah, I'm too fast. Come on, bro. This is real. This game isn't real, bro. I can check the controls after this. I'm pretty sure there's not, though. Like, there's not a jump button, but there seems to be some kind of, like, if you... Whoa, whoa! That scared me. Holy crap. Elon, what are you doing? Oh, thank you. My wife went upstairs to go check on the kid. I guess she's watching me on the phone upstairs. She scared the crap. That like legitimately scared me. We put the kid to sleep, but lately he's been he knows he has to go to bed, right? But the problem is he'll that's cheating. But I'm in silver now though, so is it really? Hitting the resume like automatically resets my position. And I keep screwing up there. Jesus Christ. He kept crawling in your face. So I found what appears to be some kind of exploit where if you're about to fall off, just hit the resume and then it resets your position where you need to be as opposed to where you're not. That's kind of a neat little trick, right? It just reset me. Never mind. God, I never asked you, but does Paul have an infinite? Yes, he does. Thank you. He has infinite energy. He just keeps crawling over everywhere. Like he was crying in his room by himself. He kept saying sleep with mama, but then he's in the bed. He just wants to crawl over your face and play with the nightlight. I told you not to do that. Told you not to do that. He's getting the separation anxiety that toddlers usually get. But it is what it is. Toddlers be toddling. All right. Oh God. Oh no, bro. I was 8 seconds. Man, are you freaking kidding? I was 8 seconds ahead. Oh, I'm screwed. I'm so screwed, bro. That was it, man. That was clean. That was a clean run. I was killing it. 8 seconds above par. Like what? Over here playing the Sega Saturn sound effects. I know you. Did you ever end up playing this game, Dersonic? What was that? What was that? Excuse me. Why did I turn around? Why did it fucking flip me around? Godo Game Gremlins. Listen, as long as I can keep my pace, I'll take those ramps because the ramps seem to be like way more consistent than trying to like do the platform shuffle over here. Oh my God, please. All right, 4 seconds. 4 seconds. All right, let's keep it going. Even though I lost all of my speed. Played the demo. It was pretty neat. So yes, I also played the demo. I don't know if you remember, I streamed it around this time last year. And I enjoyed it then, and I purchased it like on release. And I played it, I tried it once on my Steam Deck. Oh my God. Oh my God. I played it on my Steam Deck, but then I didn't touch it again for like a whole year. And I was like, well, all these racing games are coming out, and I need an excuse to stream again. So I was like, well, why not? Why not play this game? And I'm having fun with it all over again. I remember what caught my attention about the demo. And also, you know, the demo didn't have all these complicated stages. Like, these are like way more. Oh my god, I'm just flying, brother. It's been a year. I have a couple of hours in this, and you like it a lot. See, that's what I was asking you, John. I was asking you, John, what you thought of the game. Did you complete it from front to top? Did you get all gold medals? Like, what was the scope of that? They finally added pausing and rewinding streams. Such groundbreaking technology. What will they think of next? Yeah, they I think is my stream currently rewindable? Are you able to like go back and watch it? And also, are you able to do like a ×2 fast forward while watching it and rewind? Cool. Yeah, I saw that there was an announcement today that Twitch pushed an announcement that they were pushing that out for everybody. But I wasn't sure if my stream was going to get affected. I guess everybody is now. The thing I wanted to test with it though is like some people don't save VODs, right? You technically were able to do that. Oh my god. You got a raid? Jova. What is up, Jova? Oh my god. You got tired of the technical difficulty, so I stopped. Thank you, Gamer Taku. I was about to say Gamer Otaku. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the raid. You got tired of technical difficulty, so you stopped maybe on the 5th stage, but a super cool game. Heck yeah, man. And you guys are too kind. Thank you so much for the follows. Let's give Jova a shout out. Why not? And we'll even do it. We'll do with the special things. I appreciate it. Hello, everybody. I'm a talking Dreamcast. Wait, hold on. I think I messed up. Why are you putting the @ sign? I don't need that. There we go. You were playing What the Car? Well, I'm technically playing a version of What the Car, right?
And yeah, I did it. Whoa, okay, that one. Oh, you gotta be kidding me! You've gotta be kidding me! Oh, Jesus.
Perfect. Beautiful. What's up? Nobody makes clips of your channel. Well, hey, man. Perfect time to start, right? Anyway, welcome in, everybody. Even on the game, even on the pause, the game assets are animating. They are, yeah. You can see my speed going wild. Yeah. So this is called Parking Garage Rally Circuit. Sorry I know I put Sonic in the title. I'm aware. I was trying to clickbait a little bit, but yeah, this is an indie game. Came out last year. I bought it at launch, but I never played it till now. Like most backlog games. I guess we should do a little raid animation. Why not? Let's break out the classic. I love that clip. It's so funny. Anyway, yeah, welcome in, everybody. I play games on this channel. I consider myself I used to call myself a retro streamer. I used to call myself a variety streamer. But I don't play just retro, and I think variety streamer is like too generic of a term. So I've taken to calling myself a video game literacy advocate. I know it sounds like a lot of big words, but basically, I'm the type of dude that plays games, and I want you to also play other games. Games that are outside your comfort zone. We talk about games here. We love games here. If you're on Twitch and you're watching a game streamer, presumably you like games, so you know that's what we're here for, right? We're here to chill, just hang out, talk about games. I'm not a historian. I don't want to get people's hopes up. I'm old. Yes. I was there. I was there when the books were written, when the tomes were written, or whatever the phrase is. But I'm not going to act like I have done the academic rigor to call myself a historian of any kind. But I like to think that I know a lot about games because I play a lot of them. And so that's my entire purpose on here, is to encourage you guys to try games out, or maybe play games you haven't seen before, right? So it's variety in a way, but that's not, I'm not going to just pigeonhole myself into a specific, something so specific like that, right? Because games are fun and we should play them for fun. Sometimes games aren't fun, and that's okay too, right? Sometimes games are bad, and there's merit to that. It's all about games at the end of the day. So I hope you guys stick around. Thank you for the follows. I take those seriously, so I appreciate it when you folks decide to come around. If you ever come back, feel free to come and go. I don't stream too often. I'll post about when I do online on socials and stuff. I still have a Twitter, which I mainly keep very, very curated, and then I have a Blue Sky. So I got it. I got the joke, Vector. Thank you. But yeah, man, appreciate y'all, and I guess we're just gonna keep moving, right? Oh God. So that little thing that you guys figured out with the exclamation point thing, it's something to do with the font that I chose, like the window that I chose. I don't know why it's doing that, and I haven't looked into setting it. So every time I see it, I'm like, I should change it. But then you guys have such fun with it that I just decided to leave it alone. So I think Vector figured it out the other day. Yeah, like by doing that. Oh my God. So I think what I have to do is break that parking bollard, because oh my God, that's so annoying. I lost my advantage. Oh man. All right. That's a loss. That's how often I stream, yeah. I try to stream once a week, but it's been... No, you guys can check my VODs. You can tell me exactly how often I stream. My VODs are supposed to stay the standard amount of time that Twitch keeps them, which I think is like 2 months or something. So I've got a handful of VODs between here and there. I just don't stream every day. Like I don't have that. I don't have the ability to do that. Like the amount of free time. I'm a family man. It's just how it goes. You know what I'm gonna do? Hold on. I'm gonna try to take out that parking arm at the start. Can I do that? There you go. Just get rid of it so that on the next round, when I come around, it won't friggin' cause me to like lose my momentum. Also, I think when I wiggle the stick, shoot. When I wiggle the stick, I lose speed. I think that's part of probably what's going on here. I thought I had enough juice to get through both of those. I guess not. I've gotten close to figuring out this track. This is one of the back end tracks, like the I think there's 10 tracks per vehicle weight class. I'm on the light vehicles right now, just for context. And okay, so I need to get a bit more juice there. and then there's a medium, and then there's a heavy. I think it's the same tracks for each of them. It's just the different weight classes affect the vehicle mobility and stuff. Yes, what I'm trying to do now on purpose, I'm trying to purposefully break that parking arm here, this one, because on the second lap, what's happening is that I am coming around, and then both of the arms come down when I'm in range. So I'm losing a little bit of time. I'm losing a little bit of time at the beginning so that I can break that out. So on the second lap, it won't become a hazard. Kind of. It's not quite the same as MK, but it's very close. The drifting does give you speed boosts when you come out of it, and it also maintains your speed. But there's an additional mechanic where if you maintain your momentum without hitting obstacles that like slow you down, like not every obstacle that you run into will slow you down. It's like a function of the inertia that you have. Some vehicles will, like, the moment you tap them will like mess you up. But what I'm finding is that, like right there, I had enough speed to take out that parking column. But these will stay up. So certain things will move out the way when you hit them. And others won't. Oh my god, that screwed me up so bad. So as long as you're consistently boosting without actively hitting things that can take your momentum away, you'll increase your top speed. And the top speed is in like the red line of the speedometer on the bottom left. That's what I'm discovering. It seems like, I can't say for sure because I've been kind of discovering it as I've been playing, but it seems like as long as you maintain that speed, you'll slowly build up momentum during the course of the race. And then that will allow you to keep boosting. And then what else I'm finding is if I go left and right like how you would normally do Mario Kart stuff, then you actually lose speed. The left and right motion makes you lose your speed. So you actually have to like maintain an angle. If you're going against, so if I'm drifting to the left and I'm holding right on the stick, you have a little bit more control over the drift in keeping the nose of your vehicle straight. But what happens instead is you lose a little bit of your speed. It's basically like braking. But if you're leaning into the drift, you seem to, for the most part, maintain your speed. So you have to like be careful about how you take corners. Otherwise, you lose your momentum. Yeah, I had a top speed of 41 just a minute ago, and now I'm back down to 38. It was smooth, but you guys should have saw me like earlier. I think I was like 8 or 9 seconds ahead of pace previously, and now I'm hurting because I'm giving up my initial boost to try to keep up with the gold. The gold guy's like way up there. Earlier I was hitting like 52 miles per hour. That's what Vector was saying. Yeah, this guy's like way ahead of me right now. I'm not sure I can even catch up with him based on that. All right, I'm just gonna have to, I don't know. You know what? Okay. I'll just have to remember that on the second set of speed boosts. So I haven't played any of these maps. So there is a pace. There's a pace for gold, there's a pace for silver, and there's a pace for bronze. When you clear the level, it'll save your ghost. Right? But since these are all like technically first tries, all I'm trying to do at this point is just set a pace, like set it clear, and get gold. Theoretically, I could just beat the stage, right? But the only way you can get blue boost is by holding the dash. It's not like a wiggle mechanic. You have to like hold the drift. The first yellow light that pops up is the first phase of drifting, and then the blue is the one that you get for holding it long enough. Yeah, I'm trying to beat the stage at first before I move on. Because there's apparently a trophy for getting all golds. Oh my god. And so part of the nuance is once you come out of a drift, you get that speed boost, right? But you maintain a speed boost as long as you don't hit brakes or as long as you don't hit something on the way out. So there I did it beautifully. But now the gold guy caught up because I slowed down considerably. I didn't carry my speed out of that drift all the way to the top of this roof here. All right, I gotta remember. Oh shoot! No! I hit the corner. Oh my god! I screwed up by taking it too soon. Would this work well with the steering wheel controller? Maybe. I don't know. I don't have a steering wheel, so I don't know. I think it was designed with a hat in mind. But I mean, I guess you could play with a wheel. I don't see why not. Yeah, see that's if I take that. So what I did there is I let as soon as I get on that level, I let the boost carry me forward, the momentum of the boost carry me forward, which is good. But then I tried to drift again, and homie started running into those cars so fast that he decided to fly off. So here, right there, right? I think I just have to do small corrective drifts to be able to maintain speed. Without like going too far. Like right here. This is good. This is good pace. I am now 6 seconds ahead, right? But the last time I lost the entirety of my lead because I got hit by that arm bar. There we go. This might be the run. Assuming I don't freaking fly off the handle. Yeah, that's the trick. Doing those small boosts is oh my god, please no, dude. Those small boosts is what's keeping me going. It's like a brake, basically. Like there is a brake button. Left trigger is brake. You've got to be freaking kidding me, dude. You've got to be freaking kidding me, man. Oh, no. That's so stupid. I missed the checkpoint. If you don't hit the checkpoint, they force you to go back to the previous one. So you have to hit every checkpoint in order to keep going. Because it's the only way that they can maintain the integrity of the race, right? So I was trying to hit reset. You can hit the Y button to reset your position to the previous checkpoint that you were at, which is good, right? But Jack, I screwed up because I went the wrong direction. So you can, like, right there, for example, I hit Y button to reset my position, but the other guy keeps going even though I hit the Y button to reset. I missed the checkpoint. I pressed the button to reset my position to try to make up for the fact that I missed the checkpoint, but you can't go in reverse unless you like completely stop, you know, pull back and then hit the brake button. Yeah, I need a rally guy. I need a rally guy in my area. Easy right, maybe. I think I figured out that part right there. Okay, good. That's a good pace. You are... It was a good pace until I friggin' flew off the map. Too fast, yeah, too much momentum. And then, of course, that's the thing. The physics objects, if you're underneath the speed that moves the object, then it just completely kills your momentum, like embarrassingly so. But if you're going fast enough, like if you're in the red line, most of those objects will at least move, if not full on break away, right? But it doesn't always happen, so yeah. Oh man. I've gotten so close to beating this thing twice. Too much. Too much, too much. Oh my god, my car is made out of silly putty. This game is so ridiculous. You know, it's probably a different story when you're playing with a heavier car. Maybe the heavier cars are a bit better about, like, not completely losing their momentum whenever you hit stuff. Could potentially be like a higher top speed, but like you have to build up momentum more or whatever. We'll get there eventually. I am happy that the difficulty at least seems to be like increasing, right? Yeah, you really just gotta like lean into it. No, man. I didn't do it. I didn't do it fast enough. I know it was coming. I saw it coming. I was preparing for it. So I have to be at least yellow and really up close to break through those parking arms. You know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. I would have taken it. I didn't even know you could like get there from there. Yeah, if you missed that, okay. Oh shoot, no. Messed up. Let's go. Yeah, like there's very few shortcuts. There was a map I played previously where there was like a couple of like little aprons that were like in the way of the road, but if you can drive through them and it'll cut across like a good portion of the course, like enough to cut off like 2 or 3 seconds. And there's like small little shortcuts like that, but like yeah, the checkpoint system basically like prevents you from skipping ahead. You know, maybe there are some kind of like Mario Kart styled exploits you can do, because you know how Mario Kart has like little tricks where like you can like see that right there. That happened earlier. I don't know if you guys saw that. I don't know what I hit. Maybe I hit the angle wrong on the floor, but like it completely flipped me 180, and that was the second time I saw that. That's when Vector said game gremlins or whatever. And I think that's what that was, like some weird like interaction with whatever the floor was doing, and it blew me off the track. Blame it on the gremlins, on the Godot gremlins. Alright, this is not bad, I guess, but not great. Yeah, holding that direction is super important. I swear to God, you piece of garbage. All right, let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. That should be it. Finally. Jesus Christ. Thank you. Thank you so much. I see, yeah. So I was like on the level directly above them. That's why you can see the ghost. That turn right there is deceptively difficult. Like there's like a little bit of like a grate there, like a black grate that's supposed to catch you, but I see that and I don't trust it. you can roll the right stick to slowly. All right, so on this turn, I hit the curve right here, and I hit that curve like as soon as I hit yellow. That's when I let go. On the second lap, because I knew that was gonna be a problem. Whoop. Yeah, and then see there I screwed up. I took that corner too hard and I just drove off the edge. So I did a reset. Just kept it moving. Cool. All right. Let's see how this nonsense. There's only 2 more stages. Minnesota Mega Mall. All right, cool. And it's snowing. I wonder if that actually affects the race. It's actually snow. Holy crap, no. All right, that one caught me off guard. Doesn't actually snow this much in Minnesota. Really? You don't think so? Alright, that's just lame.
It's time to drink water. It's time to drink water.
Is it time to drink water?
It's time to drink water.
You know what? I probably need to drink some water after that previous race. Let's drink some water. Why not? I have a cup here. I'm ready for that. I think I'm ready for that. Am I in fact ready to drink water? I think I am. Okay, there we go. All right, everybody get your drinks, get your beverages, get your bevies, because it's time to drink water. If you don't drink water, I'll be very disappointed in you. Let me get my water going over here. This will do.
It's time to drink. It's time to drink. Drink. It's time to drink. Drink. It's time to drink water. It's time to drink water. It's time to drink water.
Refreshing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Kind of needed it. My throat was kind of parched. All right. Oh, right. Of course, I had to clap. Thank you. Yeah. Hopefully you're hydrated. I wonder what this game will look like full screen. Let me switch over to full screen. All right, that's not too bad. I could probably move the text up a little bit since it's like there's a natural border. I set the thing to be definitely needs more dithering. Yeah, can't have enough. Let me I guess I could move it up. Yeah, maybe. Like, would it make a difference? I guess is the real question. Okay, that's like all the way to the extent of the edge of the window. Yeah, that's fine. I could do that. I think this works. Yeah, why not? Although I'm blocking the time. Where can I go instead? Maybe I like Maybe I scoot down a little bit, maybe like right here. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. And then if you guys talk, you can talk all over me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I'm on top of it. All right, yeah, this works. I'm okay with this. You guys can see the details a little bit better. I mean, it is at the end of the day very low res textures. This is acceptable to me though. Those guys doing like a freaking horn solo over here, saxophone. Guitar like solos. Kind of sounds like a Guitar Freak song. Out of my way, nerd. How long is this stage? Holy crap. No. Oh, Lord. Are those like Zambonis? There's freaking Zambonis on here. How am I supposed to... Man. The stage is huge. Like the beginning stages were like nowhere near as large as this. Okay, clearly I'm messing up on that. Yeah, I didn't even finish lap 1. Like it was still going. Talk about a boss stage. I have a feeling that the snow actually matters. Those were Mr. Plows. Is that what you call them in your part of the world? How am I supposed to like safely navigate? All right, I think I'm supposed to like, yeah. Alright, this one caught me off guard the first time. I wasn't expecting that. He's on the outside? I guess that makes sense. The gold guy was like hidden like the far right. Like, oh, I did it again. Oh no. Is that a full lap? Okay, that's a full lap. Jeez. Wow. Wow. Okay. All right. Give me 1 second, guys. I need to check on something. I will be right back. I'll put you on a BRB screen and I'll run an ad real quick just in case. I know some of you guys don't see ads, but you know. You can enjoy the music in the meantime, and then I'll be right back. I need to check on something. It's what I thought. The dogs needed some water. So I gave them some water. Because they were thirsty. Let's resume. I gotta practice these crazy routes. If I take that corner early, it's not so bad. The one I need to be careful on is the one after that one. And this, I don't know how to traverse that. Like, do I just like let go of the brakes? Well, I beat Silver, but didn't. I beat Silver at like the last second. I didn't beat Gold though. I think you can do worse than Bronze. That guy took that corner the whole way. How is he doing that corner? He's drifting like the moment he hits the elevation. Kind of see like the background. All right, so he took that super wide turn. All right, how are you? Okay, so that super wide turn, so he gets the boost, and then does what now? He eats it. He eats it and then rights himself immediately without losing any momentum. Takes the corner a little bit on the inside. These are trucks with scoops on them, cow catchers. They're Mr. Plows, like how y'all were saying. Yeah, see this? Do you see this guy? Friggin' takes the outside corner. Maybe there is something to that. If you're trying to maintain speed and takes the outer extent of the outside corner. And then when you get here, what do you do? Oh, okay, so he takes it like super wide, then takes it short. I'm gonna be honest with you. I never heard the term Mr. Plot before. I didn't know what that was. I looked it up just now. I see it. He hits that pretty. Woo woo woo. You can like advance it frame by frame. I mean, yes, I'm familiar with the concept of drifting widely to try to get boosts, but I don't understand why it would be advantageous on that plow section, because really doesn't seem like riding the outside would do anything other than it would like give you a quick boost at the very end, I guess. Let's see if he does it again on the second round. Here goes a car. I'm really curious how okay, so yeah, like extra wide, like edge of the stage drift there. Lets that carry him across the gap. And then like I don't get this interaction. I don't know how he's able to like maintain his speed. Okay, so he's just drifting the moment he gets control again. And then he rides the outside again. Oh, I see what he's doing. Okay. It's just using that big white berth to get in a couple of speed boosts while he has momentum. That's all he's doing. And here, extra wide again, because he came in super hot. And he goes on the outside? What? I never even considered that. All right, cool. Two Trailer Park Girls go around me outside. He bends the game gremlins to his will. I have a feeling that those recordings were like done by the devs, because obviously they could optimize them more. They chose not to. So. Feed the deep. Yellow taxi goes vroom. Hey, isn't that the other game? Wasn't that another game? Wasn't that like a game that they showcased on GDQ? You think they worked on this game too? Altarium Shift. Very, very valet. Hold on. What the heck is this? How do I switch again? Stage camera to free cam. I do appreciate that they're giving the other indies their own little shout outs there. Has anybody heard of Very, Very Valet? This looks like it's got a bunch of puppets on it. Also, why Altarium Shift? Are there any more other ads for other indie games? Appreciate the shout outs to the other gamers. I guess that was it, huh? Next Level Racing, Urban Motorsport, Racing Elevated, EGRC. You think Altarium Shift is a Wii game? You're supposed to get out of this mall. This is covered in snow. Alright, hold on. I'm gonna check real fast. I have Steam open. Alright, so we go to the store. Very, Very Valet. It cost $14.99. It came out in 2022. It's a couch co-op game. So it predated the Parking Garage Rally Circuit. Looks like a party game. Alright, that's cool. And then like a party physics game. And the ratings are very positive, but there's only 81 ratings. And then Altarium Shift, that's the anime-looking game, has mixed reviews. Oh, unfortunate. It's got mixed reviews. It came out in 2023, July 6, 23. And it's an early access game. Embark on a journey through a living world of Altaria, experience dynamic quests, unique turn-based combat, choice-driven storylines, 3 branching narratives. Unforgettable Characters, retro-inspired JRPG. It kind of looks like a very clean version of what Square was doing with the 2D HD engine. It's trying to replicate the Super Nintendo look, but using 3D assets is what this game looks like to me. It has turn-based battles. So their target was SNES, apparently. Obviously, you already know about Yellow Tuxedo's Room. That game is $17. Overwhelmingly positive. Over 1,000 reviews, of course. Came out in 2024. And then what was the other game? Seems like the RPG got the worst ratings out of all of them. A game filled with unforgettable characters. Hey, what? Why are you blocking me, game? Don't block me. There we go. Free Cam Car Relative. What? Oh, Feed the Deep. And what is Feed the Deep rated? Yeah, Yellow Taxi Goes Vroom got AGDQ coverage, so that's probably why I got so many people purchasing. Feed the Deep, very positive with 400 ratings, August 16, 2024. So pretty well. It's at $7. There you go. The 2D side-scrolling exploration underwater game where you play as a dude, and the developer is a single person's name, so maybe it's a single indie dev. Cool. Oh, the music was done by Cedar Jones, which is the guy who did the music for Jetpack Joyride. So there you go. A Lovecraftian roguelike by the creator of Fruit Ninja and Jetpack Joyride. This is the guy who made Fruit Ninja? What? He the deepest by the Fruit Ninja guy? Okay. All right. I learned something today. Okay, my dogs are barking outside. Let me go get them. I'll put you guys in a quick BRB, and then we'll continue this racing shenanigans. Really? That's unfortunate. All right, well, since we're at the last race, this is Liberty Island, apparently. Rather than bore you guys trying to get gold on that one, I'll go ahead and let's try this ridiculous last course, because this looks insane. Liberty Island. It's like helicopters, all sorts of crazy stuff. Oh God. Whoa. America. This is nuts. It's like Rainbow Road. There you go. There's your Mario Kart reference. Jesus Christ. It's got ska music, okay? There's a distinction. That's the reason why I made the Sonic title reference in my stream title today. Now you understand. This is the title theme music. You gotta like really ride the... Holy crap, he's so far ahead! There's probably a way to rocket around all that stuff. So yeah, this is like the main title theme of the game. That guy's like 12 seconds ahead of me. Oh my god. Alright. Clearly I have to be like grinding that entire way. I got the indoor parts just fine. It's the outdoor stuff that's throwing me off. He's up by like 20 seconds, yeah. Like I lose sight of him. I don't see how he's getting so much boost. That's nuts. I'm not actually getting any speed though, like yeah, he's like friggin' 10 seconds ahead of me. I don't... I'm not sure what I'm missing. Yeah, like he's clearly they got like a way bigger boost. I'm losing a lot of speed on the Rainbow Road part. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that. A lot of technical racing there. Yeah, that's wild. Oh no. Well, I'm just gonna run it through. That's crazy. If I touch that edge at all, I lose so much speed. How am I supposed to get around that? Speed, I guess. Yeah, 30 seconds behind. Like that's incredibly difficult. You can just finish the race and that's it. Okay, let's see the replay on that. Because that's insane. What a whack boost. He's just doing it. Slowly building momentum there. You have to not touch. Oh my god. Yeah, literally that he just keeps doing it. Which is like but he's not touching the edges, right? Touching the edges slows you down. By that point, he's got so much momentum, he hits that bridge slow. Yeah, it's just short little hops to maintain speed. It's slow and judicious uses of boosts. Letting go the moment you have the spark. That time he had so much speed built up, he doesn't even bother. He just keeps it going. That's hard, man. He almost fell off right there. Yeah, he's keeping center of the route and just popping little wheelies, which gives him little boosts in speed with each little thing. By that time, he's already hitting 40 and 50. Going fast. Oh my god. All right, that's goofy. Well, that was the recording from the Dove. It really isn't. No, they left purposeful mess ups on the gold Durf Sonic so that you can actually beat them. Like that little crash near the end. I'm convinced that the devs actually recorded, themselves playing the game for those ghosts. But clearly it's not perfect. Like it's not a perfect run because they do crash, they do run, they overshoot some things. They give you a little bit of space there so that you can get ahead of it. How do I get the 8th? Yeah, I didn't even place on 8th, so. How did I do so well on number 4? I got top 20% on number 4, but then top 60 and top 50 on the others. That fake Sega Saturn. It's so cool. No lobbies, huh? I have to play a single multiplayer race. I probably should have played a single multiplayer race when the game was actually being played, yeah. This game's over a year old. People played it, they got their game in, and then that was it. Literally no one playing right now. I guess I could make a lobby. I need the Chivo. I need the Chieve. Maximum players. Can I just like start a game? Can I start a game by myself? 20 laps. Is it just me? I do have friends who own this game, so theoretically I could ask them to get online. But yeah, I probably should have been playing this game like. That's the danger of playing games, right? Especially indie ones. When people are done with them, they're done with them. At that point, it becomes like you have to like coordinate. All right, so there's cheats. You can put codes in. Interesting. All right, so did I get the achievement? That's the question. Micro machines. A little bit, yeah. All right, I'm gonna try quitting the game. I'm gonna check my Steam real quick. And let's see what we got. Achieve 1.75 times the car's regular top speed. Oh, never mind. Real-time way. Finish a multiplayer race. I did it. You can play multiplayer by yourself. So never mind. The locked achievements. Are you going to bed? Okay. Well, see you later. Buenas noches. What do I not have? Brand new car. I have to unlock heavy cars. I need to get all the golds. Ultra car class. So there's heavy cars and there's ultra cars. Endurance. Finish 5 laps or more on the light learning garage endurance. What does that mean? They don't let you sleep. You can't go to sleep at work. That's true. All right, let's try that. This is 5 endurance thing on the learning something or other. Made with Blender. Heck yeah, there it goes. This game might actually be right up your alley, iGoops. I know you like racing stuff in real life. The premise of this game is so silly, but it's fun. Did I see the Xbox TGS show? No. Did I have? Did I play something to the game? I'll be honest with you, man. I'm not feeling games right now. I'm not. This. So the previous batch of games that we just went through and have come out, they're pretty good. Like the ones that are coming out, they seem to be pretty good. But these upcoming games, not feeling it, man. Not feeling it. I don't know what it is. I guess they all can't be winners, but you know. And in fact, I don't even know if you feel the same way, but I'm just saying, dog. Was there anything good? Did they finally announce Scalebound? Did they return Scalebound now that Hideki Kamiya is like alive and working in the games industry again? Not just making YouTube videos. That I do. This is along the lines of what we do, just with less parked cars in the way. Yeah, doing this full-on parking garage. We out here drifting. All right, so yes, I know. Achieve bronze on all tracks in the previous car class. Oh, that's how you get bronze. Oh, I get it now. I now understand. I like keep my yeah, there you go. And they said play the let's watch the training video, I guess. Accelerate with right trigger. Brake with left trigger. Start to turn normally. Hold the X button to drift. We know this. You can stop steering while drifting. Release the X to stop drifting. Keep steering during drift to turn sharper. Yes, we know this. Steer opposite for a wider drift. Okay. Clean drift gives a boost of speed. That means don't hit anything. So there you go. That's what it is. When you chain things without hitting stuff. When you chain without hitting stuff. That's how you get the boosts. For whatever reason, Sega keeps making Gungrave games. It must be popular in Japan. I mean, think about it, right? TGS, Tokyo Game Show, it's probably popular in Japan. I never thought Gungrave was anything cool. I mean, it's all right, but it's not like my favorite game. Good luck, Chirok. What's up, PS? You love me. This game's pretty tight. I don't know if you ever played it before. Chorokyu is not quite this. This game targets Sega Saturn. Sega Saturn aesthetics. That was a lucky bounce. Would have messed me up. Messed up. No, actually. They aren't. Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I don't know if I believe you. I think Gungrave is a very Japanese, like targeted, right? Targeted the Japanese aesthetics. It feels, and it just happens to have overlap with the American population because they like games like that, I guess, with guns and action and yada yada. Then again, I question why. Oh, I did it. How many races was that? I'm the biggest Gungrave fan on the planet. Yeah, I don't believe you. I don't believe you're the biggest one. You don't even talk about it. If you were the biggest Gungrave fan on the planet, you'd constantly talk about it, but you don't. I'd argue you're a bigger Metal Gear fan than you are a Gungrave fan. Let's see. Let's look up Gungrave, like, in general. Because, you know, I think it's an anime, right? Like, isn't it based on an anime? Yeah, it's a TV show. Yeah, it's on Crunchyroll. Okay, that's what I thought. or rather, they made an anime. Gungrave is a PS2 game, 2002, third-person shooter. Yes, Sega and in North America, Activision in Europe. It was made by Red Entertainment. Red Entertainment is a Kabushiki Gaisha Reddo Entertainmento. They're based in Japan. So Red is a Japanese company. Reddo Company. They made some games on PC Engine. Oh, they made the Bonk series on PC Engine. That's cool. They made PC Genjin on PC Engine. They did Lords of Thunder. That's cool. They did some stuff on SNES. They made the Spike McFan game. They made a remake of a game on GameCube. They did a Sakura Wars on Wii. Let's see. A lot of Japan-only stuff. And on PlayStation, they did Thousand Arms on PlayStation. That's cool. PS2 was Gungrave and Gungrave Overdose. Code of the Samurai. They did the Trigun game, which makes sense. Couple Sakura War games. PSP, they did a bunch of Japanese crap no one cares about. They did 3 Record of Agarest games, Agarest Wars on PS3. And then Gungrave Gore on PS4. They did Nude on the Xbox? That was them? The Natural Ultimate Digital Experiment, the life simulation game? You guys remember Nude? They did Nude. Holy crap. Let's see. Sega CD, Lord. Oh, they did Tempo too. They did the Tempo game. Tempo's a cool game I've been meaning to play on stream. The platformer, I guess. Stay away from Record Agarest War. Let's see. Sega Saturn. They did all the Sakura Tyson games. They did Super Tempo on Saturn. Let's see. Sakura Tyson on Dreamcast makes sense. And then, okay, well, Red are the Sakura Tyson guys. And then then their next most famous game, or the one that they touched the most times, is Gungrave. So like, what? 3 Gungrave games? I think what you're experiencing right now is recency bias. Gungrave Gore came out for the PS4 and the PS5, Series X, and Xbox One 3 years ago. On November 22nd, 2022. And then before that, there was a Gungrave VR game on PlayStation VR, apparently. But that was done by Korean dev. And then Overdose was just they added a couple of characters from the previous release. GamePro enjoyed the character, but describing him as a low-rent Max Payne. Okay, that's just rude. You can't call him a low-rent Max Payne. That's horrible. Great value. So yeah, I think what you probably again. I agree with you. Gungrave is a type of game because of its middling reviews and all these publications. Edge Magazine gave the original Gungrave a 5 out of 10. EGM gave it a 6.8 out of 10. Eurogamer gave it a 4 out of 10. Famitsu gave it a 30 out of 40. Which is telling me that the Japanese people liked it more. Game Informer gave it a 7. GamePro gave it 3.5 stars. Game Revolution gave it a D+, which, I mean, come on now. GameSpot was 5 out of 10. GameSpy is 3 out of 5. Game Zone, which I never heard of. Okay, get this. IGN in America gave it an 8 out of 10. How's them apples? IGN gave it an 8 out of 10 in America. In Japan, apparently, it gave it a 5 out of 10. Explain that one. I have no idea. And then the official US PlayStation Magazine gave it 3.5 stars. Apparently, Entertainment Weekly gave it a rating, and that was an A-. Who knew that Entertainment Weekly reviewed games? And then finally, Playboy Magazine, which in fact they do review games, gave it a 65%. So across the board, very middling, right? With a couple of peaks. There's only 2 examples from Japanese ratings on this Wikipedia article. One was, decent. Famitsu, yes, I know Famitsu tends to be kind of... Famitsu used to mean something. When they gave games 30s out of 10s or 35s out of 10s, that was a big deal. But there were several times where they gave some games perfect scores that were clearly influenced somehow, and they lost a lot of their credibility as because of it. One of the biggest examples was Final Fantasy 13. I'm pretty sure that was one of the ones that they gave a perfect score to, which that game was not a perfect score game ever. In any form of the word, it was not perfect. So, no, that's just inaccurate, because the first Gun game came out in 2002, according to this article over here. They started losing credibility PS3, Xbox 360 era. And I'm sticking to that, because they used to mean something before then. There's a list of their perfect scores. List of perfect Famitsu scores. Someone actually made an article. I looked it up before. Oh, yeah, I think it was, okay. Giant Bomb, I guess, has it. Alright, so check this out. I think this is in order of oldest to newest, maybe? Is this even a full list? There's no way this is a full list. Is this real? Come on now. Alright, let's just go to the Wikipedia article. As of 2024, 30 games have received perfect scores from Famitsu. Okay. So we'll just they are in order of release year. Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. You might not like the game, but that game was highly revered as a quote unquote perfect game even back then. People thought that game was perfect. They still do. Some folks can't let it go. That's a perfect Famitsu game. Soul Calibur, perfect game. We're talking about the Dreamcast version. I agree with it at the time. The first Soul Calibur was a perfect game because not only was it a well-made fighter, it had a lot of extra value. And I've talked about Soul Calibur when I was doing a Dreamcast stream previously. So I could see why Famitsu would have given it a perfect score. Vagrant Story. Yeah, that game was pretty... Nowadays, nobody talks about Vagrant Story, mainly because Square kind of forgot they owned it. But that was a pretty revolutionary game back then, and it was pretty good. Let's keep it going. Wind Waker on GameCube. I guess you could argue, again, for the same thing as the Ocarina of Time, but I understand why it was super highly rated at the time. Which is funny, because in America, people thought it was going to be horrible. The cell shading thing, you remember, you were there. All the magazines were saying, cell shaded, looks too cartoony, looks like this game is going to suck. In Japan, they loved it. So again, I could see why that would be high rated. Nintendogs. Yes, Nintendogs was a phenomenon. Nintendo DS, everybody had a copy of Nintendogs. I owned a copy of Nintendogs. Well, I had a copy of Nintendo. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into it. But even I played Nintendogs. You saw the first trailer and loved it. That's because you have a different gaming sensibility, PS. You love me. You and I are on that same wavelength. But you got to remember, at the time, people were more reacting to the fact that the game didn't look like a high def version of the Zelda that they were used to. They saw the cell shading and they felt betrayed, because that's not what they were looking for. That in context, it makes sense. It has nothing that doesn't speak about the quality of the game whatsoever. Final Fantasy 12 on PS2. I have some thoughts about it. It is a good game though. But I thought 12 was trying to do this thing where it was like trying to be an MMO but still an at-home game. But you can't argue that the game wasn't dense. You can't argue that game didn't have a lot to do in it. I don't know who now would say Final Fantasy 12 was their favorite game. I don't know if anybody would say that. But it was an important game when it came out. The problem with Nintendo released it... Yes, exactly. So Vector brings up a good point. They had a trailer that showed Link fighting like a spider or something. and people were freaking out because they thought that was going to be the next game, and then they give us the cell shading stuff, and then everybody got mad at that. All right, moving right along. Super Smash Bros. Brawl. You'll never find a bad Smash game. Okay, Smash Bros. Brawl. It is kind of sus that Smash Bros. Brawl was the first Smash game to get on the 4040 though, because Smash Brawl had lots of weird mechanics, including random tripping that players hated, which weren't present in the previous Smash game. So the fact that Smash Brawl made it perfect is a little sus, but it's understandable. All right, get this. MGS4, perfect game. Kojima Productions. Do I need to say anything else? I don't think that was a bot thing. I think they okay, again, think about it in context. Famitsu was looking at the graphical game and all that stuff that was there. For the PS3, that was the first, like, I don't know, what, AAA? I guess you could argue MGS4 was AAA. Big thing. But check this out. The next game on the list, 428 Shibuya Scramble, which is a visual novel. I don't know if you guys remember that Spike. You guys know who Spike Chunsoft is. This was a Sega published game. Shibuya Scramble, a VN, got a perfect score. Isn't that weird? But that speaks to the Japanese sensibilities. Okay. Next game on the list. Let's keep it moving. Dragon Quest IX. From what I haven't played the entirety of the Dragon Quest series, so I can't speak for the whole series. But from what I've heard, DQ9 was one of the better games in the series. So the fact that it took until the Nintendo DS, the initial port of DQ9, to get a perfect score, again, a little sus, but it's a good. Yeah, 9 was amazing, right? I've never heard anybody that I know that has played the game has said that it was a bad game. Almost everybody thinks it's a good game, so I could see why that would be a perfect score. I know for a fact that Sony bought that review because the 360 had a huge lead. I don't know, dog. I don't know, man. MGS4 was by far one of the console sellers for the console that generation. So I don't know that I can agree with that. I don't think that they're there yet, but it certainly is sus. Monster Hunter Tri, 2009. That was on the Wii. A lot of games on the Wii getting 40 out of 40s. No, but it was a fever pitch, my man. There was a fever pitch for that game. That's what I'm saying. The game was important. I'm not saying it's the best Metal Gear. I can't say it's the best Metal because it's clear in retrospect everything, but it worked. People bought it because that's what people were wanting. The people got the PS3 to play MGS4. People bought the console, the $599 US to play Metal Gear Solid 4. There was a promise of a Metal Gear Solid game. Xbox people were waiting for an announcement of MGS4 on the Xbox 360. It never happened because it would have been 17 DVDs. The PS3 and MGS4, they were system sellers. That game was a system seller. So yes, a 40 out of 40 makes sense in context. You could argue, what you're arguing is that the high rating caused people to change their mind about the game to buy it. What I'm saying is it got a high rating because it was such highly anticipated. The reason why AAA games have been non-profitable, well, maybe, I don't know. There's probably a theory there. iGoops bought the game before he bought a PS3. That's my point. It sounds like you're trying to argue that the reverse, like, but that's not it. That game getting a 40 out of 40 is completely understandable. Monster Hunter Tri. Monster Hunter has always been a popular game series. I don't know why Tri in particular got a 40 out of 40. I haven't played enough Monster Hunter to really know. But it seemed inevitable that one of the Monster Hunter games was going to get a 40 out of 40. So Bayonetta surprisingly got a 40 out of 40. And the first game was really good. I own it on Xbox. This is the Xbox 360 port of it. It is a good game. Is it a 40 out of 40? I don't know. But it's a good game. Let's see. Which is why, what you're saying, people normally wouldn't have bought a game because they got for it. There is an argument to be made that it sold more, but you are forgetting. You are forgetting that the PS3 was a next generation powerhouse, and it did not have games of that caliber. When MGS4 came out, it set the bar. It set the bar for what could be possible on a console of that quality. So at the time, it was reviewed 40 out of 40. I'm not going to argue with this here. I mean, it got the score it got. I don't think it was bought. I think that the actual hype machine behind that game is what gave it such a high rating. I don't believe you. I don't believe you, and I don't believe that. That game was way too important to the development of the PS3. I can't agree with that. I just can't agree with that. It wasn't bought. Where were we? Bayonetta 360. Okay, now this one always struck me as weird. New Super Mario Brothers Wii got a perfect score. New Super Mario Brothers. It was another Mario game, for sure. But I don't know that. I don't feel that was that important or even revolutionary a game, particularly because Nintendo re-released it a bunch of times. Right? So why that game in particular? I don't know. 2010. PSP game got a 40 out of 40. Another Metal Gear Solid game, Peace Walker. Now, I think if I remember what you said Peace Walker was the better game. You know, of those three games or whatever. Of the three-ish PSP games. Do I remember Kane and Lynch? No, I don't. I mean, I know what it is, but I don't remember anything about it. Peace Walker, pretty high. I'm gonna leave that one alone because I'm not like super into the PSP games, the PSP Metal Gear Solid games. I know that Peace Walker was well received. Should it have gotten a 40 out of 40? I can't say for sure. I'm not knowledgeable enough to really say if that one really needed it and why it would be popular enough for it to get a 40 out of 40. But the game after that, Pokemon Black and White on the Nintendo DS, perfect score. To me, that makes sense because how many games had been on the DS that were Pokemon games up until that point? So Black and White were the first. I'm double checking something. They were the first 5th gen game. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And the game's combined sales reached what, 15.5 million, behind their predecessors of Pokemon Diamond and Pokemon Pearl. So Diamond and Pearl came out, and then Black and White really flipped the script. So I did play Black and White. I played Black, and I enjoyed it at the time. That was back when I was still playing like portable games. I don't play portable games much anymore, but I could see why that game got a 40 out of 40. Next game in line, Skyward Sword. Now that right here, Skyward Sword, this is where I feel like things started to get really sussy. I never finished Skyward Sword because I got bored of it. And the number one complaint that people had about Skyward Sword, way too hand-holdy. Tutorial section was 3.5 hours. You had to go through all this stuff to try to figure out to get out to the main world. The pacing was really off. But somehow, Nintendo got a 40 out of 40. To me, this is where things start to go downhill. Okay? And why do I say that? What was the next game that got a perfect 40 out of 40? The Elder Scrolls 5. Skyrim got a perfect 40 out of 40. It says here that on the sub note, the first non-Japanese game to receive a perfect score. So that's kind of interesting. Now, Skyrim has been re-released like what, 17 times by now? By this time period. And you know what? It kind of was a big deal back then. I don't know that I personally would agree that it needed to be a 40 out of 40 necessarily. However, I maybe because it was kind of new, but that game, even back then, that game was kind of a buggy mess. You know what killed gaming for me? When PTOM ended publication in 2012. PTOM? I don't know what PTOM is. I don't know. So yeah, Skyrim, kind of weird. All right, and then the next game in the line, Final Fantasy 13-2. Now, 13-2 was a better game than Final Fantasy 13. Oh, the official magazine. Okay. Kenny Lynch was 2007. Jeff Gerstmann got fired for GameSpot, giving a 6. They started following Famitsu's model, as in the former reviews. So I remember that whole situation, and that's when Jeff split off and became his own guy, and everybody loved him and they followed him because he stood to his morals and he wanted to give the game ratings what he actually felt like, as opposed to selling magazines. I'm not saying that Famitsu never sold ads for reviews, but I'm saying in relation to MGS4, that review was not sold. Absolutely not. That game was too important to the identity of the PS3. And that predated the review, because there, again, Kojima knows how to do anything. It's to get fanboys hyped up. That game sold like crazy. It impressed the reviewer. Again, the only thing that these reviewers are doing, they're playing the game, but it's a first impression, right? They're not sitting with it for 10 years before they give it a review. They're not reviewing it in retrospect. What they're reviewing is what they played when they got the game. And at that time, there was no other game that could compete with what that game was doing. I mean, just straight out. To try to go back and say that MGS4 ain't no big thing in context at the time, that's foolish. You can't say that. That game sold buku. It sold tons of copies. Ridiculous amounts of copies. And I'm not saying, yeah, there may have been a bump from reviews, but people were buying. iGoops bought the game before he bought the console. No, you're saying that review was bought. I don't believe you. I don't believe it was bought. I think that the reviewers gave that game a 40 out of 40 because of the zeitgeist around that game. That's what you're saying. You're saying that Sony or somebody paid money to get good reviews on that, and I don't agree. I don't agree. People were waiting for that game. Reviewers are also people. And in Japan, it made waves. It sold consoles. You're not going to sell... people were waiting for that game, period, before the reviews came out. That's what I'm saying. No, they gave the game a perfect score because they felt the game deserved a perfect score. But there were allegations about buying reviews. And Final Fantasy 13-2 is one of those times where it's like, okay, this is a little weird. Why is 13-2 getting a perfect score? 13... what do people say about 13? It was a No, you're saying we didn't know it. No, I don't agree. You can say that in retrospect. You can say that the game did not deserve a perfect score in retrospect because other games have come out afterwards, because clearly it was a lot of cutscenes. But if you're talking about the first impression of a game running on a quote-unquote such a powerful console as the PS3, that game was doing things that other games were not doing at the time. It just wasn't. That's a trademark Kojima thing. Okay. Yeah, and you always hate on games, so I mean, I'm not surprised. But you don't account for the majority of people's opinion. I'm not saying that you didn't call it back then. You probably did. But my point is not that you are the arbiter of what Famitsu was giving out for good reviews. Just because you thought a game is bad, which you're entitled to your opinion, that's fine. I'm not saying you're not entitled to your opinion. I'm saying in context, at the time, that game getting a 40 out of 40 was not surprising. It just wasn't. It wasn't surprising. And it wasn't because it was sold. It was because everybody was waiting for that game. They were waiting for it. They wanted it. They got a quote unquote perfect game. That's why I don't do that. That's not my job. All right, let's keep it moving on. I don't want to be on this for the rest of the night. Kid Icarus Uprising. Kid Icarus Uprising. I don't think anybody remembers that game. And what was it that PSU let me before? So Sakurai had a column. They finally threw him a bone with Brawl. Kid Icarus was a Sakurai game. And so, yeah, it seems like maybe they threw him another bone there. Because I don't know anybody who talks about that game nowadays. In fact, most people don't even remember it as a thing. Next game, Yakuza 5. Now, Yakuza to me is interesting because Yakuza has always had its fans, and it kind of had. But why 5 in particular, right? That I don't quite get. What was it about 5? I've always heard that it took Yakuza until parts 3 and 4 for it to really improve to like high quality, and I know that 5 is pretty highly rated amongst people. So I feel like that I can kind of understand why it may have gotten a 10 out of 10 at the time, but it's hard to say. Hey, what's up, Dar? Welcome in. Long time no see. Now this is another one that's boo boo trash doo doo, where I am completely of the opinion that this one in particular was sold as a review. And what is it? What game is it? JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle. I'm a fan of JoJo's. I bought my friend's old let me put into context. I bought my friend's old PS3 that he had, and I imported JoJo's. I paid almost darn near full price for that game. I had some store credit, and that game was so disappointing. This is where I'm convinced that this game was absolutely sold to the magazine to give it high ratings. Now they've improved on the game on All-Star Battle, and now you can actually buy it on Steam. They've added characters, they've done patches, they've tried to fix the game. But my goodness, when that game first came out, the thing that you can't argue about All-Star Battle is that it is very, very, very faithful to the source material in terms of like pulling stuff directly from the manga pages, and the entire game was essentially a love letter to JoJo's fans. But if you're talking about the game itself, my God, that game had such balance problems. It was really stilted. It played horribly in terms of a fighting game. It was made by CyberConnect 2. And CyberConnect 2 were the guys who were the ones who were making those Naruto arena fighters at the time. Wasn't that good of a game, let me tell you. Next game in the list, GTA 5. Second non-Japanese game to receive a perfect score. I believe it. GTA 5, people are still playing that today. Over 10 years. I think GTA 5 was a well-deserved 40 out of 40. Here we go. Here we go again. Next game on the list, MGS 5. That received a perfect score. There seems to be a little bias with Kojima games over there. I don't know that this game was necessarily sold. I could see why, in terms of gameplay, they might give it such a high rating. But again, at the time, the hype machine was through the roof. We know now that the game was unfinished, right? We know that the game came out. Its life was snuffed short. Its development cycle was snuffed short because of Konami, the fight that Konami had with Kojima. We get it. I understand that. Can't argue that. 40 out of 40 though, there was definitely room for improvement because the game was arguably not finished, but they gave it a perfect score. Next game after that, I think this is a justified 40 out of 40. Breath of the Wild. I don't think you're going to find too many people arguing that Breath of the Wild wasn't a perfect game. People still talk about it today. People still play it. Next game in the line, DQ9. I'm sorry, Dragon Quest 11. Excuse me. I never played 11. I don't know. Did you play 11, PSU 11? Did you like 11? That game apparently got a perfect game on the 3DS and the PS4. Who knew? Not me. And then again, more Kojima love here. Death Stranding got a perfect score. When I played Death Stranding the first time, I thought it was okay. But I think that game was highly divisive by design. If you didn't like the game, you just called it a walking simulator. It was easy to do that. But to me that seems a little funky, like a little bit like not hype machiney, but like why would you give it such a high score when part of it seems like marketing buzz. They sold us a bill of goods on Death Stranding that the game actually didn't end up being. It was a lot more simpler than what they were trying to present. The whole marketing, the rush. You guys remember this is the first Strand type game. It's a game about connections. It's the world creates, you have an effect on the world, and if you die and blah blah blah. But when you actually start digging into it, you understand what the mechanics are, as opposed to what they're being presented as. there's a lot there that could get lost in translation and or presented it as not the truth. So this is, for me, this is the second time that a Kojima game probably didn't need to get a 40. Famitsu should review a game highly if there's a lot of hype. No, you're not. Yeah, you're not. Clearly, you're not understanding me. What I am saying is the marketing and or presentation of a game prior to a review, combined with the initial impression of a reviewer, because that's they're reviewing these games based on their initial impressions. I thought the Famitsu panel was it's supposed to be 4 people. The magazines, when they review them, people look to them to see whether or not they're a magazine review at the time, very influential, right? Because it's like, we want to play the good games. Famitsu did the whole 4 reviewer thing, and I think who was it that also did it? I think GamePro did it. I don't think it was Game Informer. Anyway, the point is, you could argue, yes, that magazines increase hype, but what I'm saying is, in the case of these Kojima games in particular, the hype machine is ridiculous because that is his modus operandi. That man's entire thing is building hype. He's done that. They should have never gave that man money. They should have never gave that dev money. They gave him all this money to do all this ridiculous, obscure, esoteric marketing with like borderline ARG stuff and like hiding messages. That's his playbook. He does that ever since he started running things. That's what he's been doing. And what I was saying was MGS4 was the first time, or rather the most notable time, because it was a new console generation and it was a game specifically only for that console, where things got ridiculous. But then you start seeing that the games that came after that we've played recently, within like the past 5 or 6 years, somehow getting perfect scores when they're not perfect games, right? And it makes you wonder then, what were the things? And the biggest thing that I could say is a lot of it was pre-hype. How new is a console generation if you're 3 years into it? For the PS3? Are you really going to argue that there was a better looking game than MGS4 on the PS3 before MGS4 came out? Are you really trying to argue that? In terms of cinematic presentation, in terms of fidelity of the character models, in terms of the amount of voice acting, in terms of the complexity of what was put there. Are you really trying to argue that there was a better looking game prior to MGS4 on the PS3? Is that what you're trying to say here? Because I love to hear it. I love to see what game could compete against. I'm talking the PS3, brother. PS3. Listen to what I'm saying. On the PS3, was there a better looking or playing game before MGS4 came out? Think about it. Look it up. Look it up. Yeah, the PS3 began that console generation. I'm talking in terms of, I say generation. I'm not saying big picture. I'm saying the console, that particular console when it came out. That's what I'm referring to. I'm waiting. All right, while you're thinking about that, what was next on the list? Ghost of Tsushima. You know, actually, I never played this game before. This game came out in 2020, but I do think that a lot of people thought this game was really good. Resistance? I don't know. I'm looking at the list of the 40 out of 40s right now. I guess they have a section here for... They have a section for near perfect scores. That's interesting. And they have a picture for the lowest scores. The lowest scores game? Really? Ooh. The lowest score ever given out by Famitsu is 12 out of 40. Only 3 games have ever received this score. Shura no Man, which is a PlayStation game based on a manga. Pachinko CR Daiku no Minamoto-san, which is a Game Boy game. And Pro Golfer Saru, which is a game on the Wii. Additionally, a few games have received under 15 points. Among the more recent ones are Ukuki, which is a PS2 game, receiving a 13. Appleseed EX, which is I think I remember Appleseed is like an anime or something like that. Beijing 2008, which I think is like an Olympics game. And Galaxy Blaster? What is this? Never heard of this. Oh, that's a 3DS game. Okay. That's funny. Really funny. You'll find out when we play Tsushima soon. I'm debating how to play it. There's a Kurosawa mode. Ooh. Okay. Let's see. Legend of Zelda. Tears of the Kingdom. Okay, so yeah. Tears of the Kingdom got a 40 out of 40. That makes sense to me. I haven't played Ghost of Tsushima, so I don't know, but I'm sure people like it. And then the last two games on this list are... Oh, wow. Really? Okay. Apparently Street Fighter 6 got a 40 out of 40. I don't know how I feel about that. That seems to be the first fighting game that we've said on... No, I'm sorry. Soul Calibur was the first fighting game. So Street Fighter 6 got a 40 out of 40. Let me think about that. Let me think about the implication behind that. What did Street Fighter 6 do differently than every other Street Fighter game before it? Street Fighter 6 has the World Hub. Street Fighter 6 has the ability to play classic arcade games in that World Hub. Street Fighter 6 has a story mode where you make your own character. Street Fighter 6 itself is the first game on the PS5, built for the PS5 and for the Series X in the series. Did Street Fighter 5 come out on PS4? Street Fighter 5 came out on PS4, Microsoft Windows, and Linux. 2006. Okay. I guess, I don't know. I don't know that I agree this SF6 needs to be a perfect score. But in terms of like value for what you get and all of the features it has, plus the graphical presentation, I could see why a bunch of Japanese guys would say, yeah, this is a good game. This is a perfect score. I could see the argument. I don't know that I agree with it, but I could see the argument. And then the last game on this list was Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, which I think by all accounts people said Infinite Wealth was really good. One of the best games in the Ryu ga Gotoku series. I'm surprised that more... Again, before Like a Dragon was freaking Yakuza 5. Which I don't know about all that. And then the near perfect scores is a much longer list, but I'm not about to go through all that. I guess some of the highlights on the near perfect scores, you have... Let's start from the oldest. Link to the Past was a near perfect. Virtual Fighter 2 apparently. Mario 64, that was a near perfect score. Whoa, Virtual On Oratorio Tangram, that was a near perfect score. Heck yeah, man. I don't know if I agree, but that game is tight. That's an arcade game. They rated it on the Dreamcast, but that's an arcade game. Kingdom Hearts 2 is on here. Metal Gear Solid 3, near perfect. Okami. I think Okami is highly beloved. FF13, yeah, that's what I was talking about before. 13. So 13-2 got a perfect score, but 13 did not. Black Ops got a near perfect score. There's your Call of Duty game, Vector. Red Dead Redemption apparently got a perfect score, or near perfect score. Peace Walker got a near perfect score, but this is the HD edition on the PS3. Revelations. Resident Evil Revelations on the 3DS. Yeah, I agree. I had a lot. I played the Resident Evil Revelations on the 3DS with friends even. I played it online and stuff. I spent a lot of time on that game. It was one of the earliest games that supported the circle pad. And the fact that it was running as well as it did on a 3DS also blew my mind, so I could see why that got near perfect. Revengeance got near perfect. The Wonderful 101 got near perfect. Wow. That's nuts. That game didn't sell hardly anything. For a game magazine trying to say that this game hype, freaking Wonderful 101 sold so bad, and somehow Famitsu's review didn't help it at all. Gee, seems like not every game that gets high scores gets the sales too, huh? That seems weird. You'll be happy to know that Uncharted 4 got a near perfect score. So there you go. They finally got their flowers when it came to Uncharted 4. Naughty Dog got the daddy. You even replayed it on the Switch. Yeah, it's sad. You couldn't finish Half-Life 2 because of how good COD was? Call of Duty? Very funny. But I agree. Alright, so this is one where this was sold. Kingdom Hearts 3, totally sold that. But then the following year, Final Fantasy VII Remake. That got an almost perfect score. So go figure. Splatoon 3, yada yada yada. The last game on this list that was a near perfect score was Death Stranding 2. Which, I guess. I guess why... I don't agree with that, but I could see why that was a thing. Alright, I think I'm done with this game. Let me check to see that I got the achievement for that. Stopping the game. We're syncing the cloud save. It's sunk. And I finished 5 laps. There you go. There you go. Cool, I got it. I played this game for 3 hours. Would you recommend this game? I'm not ready to make that determination right now. Splatoon 3, FF16. I need to pick up FF16. I was waiting. I got burned on FF15 when I played it. I did enjoy Final Fantasy 15, but as you guys probably know, game had a ton of DLC, and it pretty much ruined the experience for me because it's like I didn't play the real game, and I could not be bothered to go back and actually do it. So screw you and screw Geometry. Worth mentioning is that the companies don't pay reviewers directly. Instead, the reviewers are wine and dine with stuff like press kits, hotel stays, yada yada. Yeah, I mean, yes, I'm not arguing that doesn't happen. That does obviously happen, and it did back then. And it might even happen now, because game studios, for some god awful reason, use Metacritic as a determination as to who gets bonuses. Like that's insane. When the reporters broke that story like a couple years back, that like your monetary livelihood was based on how well a game reviewed, that was nuts to me. That should have never been the case. What should have directed bonuses is the amount of copies that the game sold. But they were doing it based on reviews. That to this day, that still blows my mind. But yes, there are certain games where, in retrospect, when you're looking at them, you're saying to yourself, "No, this game did not hold up. This game did not." Even at the time, there were still things about the game that were kind of weird or sus or awkward, and clearly didn't deserve it. So it's really easy to say that yes, these games were influenced by review scores and yada yada yada. Like, I get it. I understand the point you're making, but there are certain... I feel like that there was a decline, that there was a certain inflection point, and I don't think that MGS3 was the inflection point. I think that a couple of games after that was the inflection point, and the place where it was like totally egregious to me in particular was the JoJo. JoJo All-Star Battle getting a perfect score was ridiculous. If you were looking at it as an object that was trying to honor the legacy of the JoJo series, and that was it, like a museum, you might have a point there. But we're talking about games here. We're talking about games that you play, that you spend money to spend time to play on. And no, sir, that game was trash. I can say that as a JoJo's fan, that game was trash. Who did it first, if not Famitsu? There are thousands, well, maybe not thousands. There are thousands of reviewers, certainly, especially nowadays, since the freaking internet is very what's the word I'm looking for? Democratized, I guess. Anybody with a stupid Twitter account and a check mark next to their name could, in fact, sell a review. It happens all the time. People get early copies of games, and they're encouraged to leave good reviews about them, right? Now, some people on YouTube, they say, no, we've been given a copy of such and such, and they'll claim that the company hasn't, they have no say in what their review is, and I appreciate that. If that's truthful for those guys, that's fine. If I had to guess which was the first to sell reviews, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Honestly, I couldn't tell you. But we know it happened because of Jeff. We know it happened because of Jeff. Jeff was in it, and he was one of the first to speak out about it. And because he had scruples about him, he was rewarded by that. But for every Jeff, I'm sure there were 5 other reviewers that would have wanted to do the same, but didn't have the same pull or visibility or desire to ruin their career, right? Jeff, I think, got lucky because of how visible his situation was. And it was still at the point, the internet was kind of young. But I think, yeah, there is something to be said there about being visible, right time, right place, calling that stuff out, right? Now you're claiming Famitsu was doing it before GameSpot. And we only got confirmation, quote unquote, that they were doing it in 2007. I don't know, maybe, but what I'm trying to look at in terms of like how these games got the scores they did, I could see the argument. Now, what I would have to do, and this is why I call myself not a historian. If I was a historian and I did my research and I spent time like actually looking into like archival footage, records and scans and things, I would go and find those reviews, the written reviews. I would translate them. I would try to extract the meaning from those reviews, to see what the reviewers were actually saying about the games and why they rated them so high, right? That would be rigor so that I could prove what I feel, because that's what it is. I'm opinionated about this. This is how I'm talking about things that I have opinions on and what I feel like and what I believe and what I don't believe. But that's not necessarily based on what was written in those reviews. I'm saying that I could take the point of view of a reviewer from a Japanese company or from Famitsu or whatever, and I could see why that was rated high based on my personal experience at the time. Now, if I wanted to do a thorough like deconstruction of what that actually meant, we would have to look at the source material. We would have to look at the written reviews. We would probably need to translate them to figure out what they were saying, and then see if that jived with accounts at the time and other reviews at the time and what other people were saying at the time, right? But I'm not a historian. I'm not a rapper. So whether or not Famitsu was selling reviews at the time, I can't say that it's always been pay to play, right? Even going as far back as Game Freak, back when Japan was pioneering the idea of a zine, where guys would be writing their own magazines and taking ads or promoting their own independent games and little paper, they call them MOOCs, magazine books, those types of things. And then they would go to stores. And say, hey, can you carry my books for gamers, right? You're looking at like a very small grassroots type gamer thing before it caught on to the mainstream. That, in essence, by definition, is promotion, right? And so you're trying to sell a game and you're trying to sell it in a store. The whole purpose of a magazine, to rate it highly, is promotion. It is part of the promotional machine, right? So I can't say with 100% confidence because I was not in those rooms when those things were being advertised. But that's the truth. That's what a magazine is. A magazine is a book full of ads. We're talking about game reviews and Famitsu in particular. The question was coming up whether or not these game mags were selling reviews, selling good reviews for games that come out, and what it means to have a perfect score. Famitsu is a Japanese, it's like an old storied Japanese magazine / publication that rated games, and they were very influential, right? Getting a perfect score from Famitsu is a mark of pride. That's kind of what we're in the middle of, Arya. So we were talking about at what point did Famitsu have obvious cases of where they were giving perfect scores to games that probably shouldn't have deserved it. All right, and so Vector is over here arguing that MGS4 was not a good game, and how the PS3 still somehow got a perfect score, even though it's not a good game, according to Vector. Yeah, so FF13 didn't get a perfect score. FF13, I think, got a 39 or a 38. FF13 2 got a perfect score. And my point was FF13-2 was a better game than FF13 because they actually tried to make a game this time around. But 13-2 was still not a perfect game in terms of Final Fantasies, in my opinion, right? But Famitsu gave it a perfect game. Famitsu's no longer around. Oh no, they're still giving out reviews. They gave out a review for Death Stranding 2. They're not. I don't think they're around as like a printed magazine. But they're around. They're still giving reviews. Exactly. So that's my point, Arya. 13.2 fixed a lot of the issues that 13.1 had. But would you say that 13.2 was a perfect game only because it fixed stuff that was wrong with 13? Or was it a perfect game by its own merits? And that's kind of where it's like a little sussy, right? We're trying to figure out how sussy that was. And so yeah, we mentioned earlier Jeff Gerstmann starting off. He left his job as a reviewer because he was rating games lower because that was his thought. And rather famously, I guess he talked about it before on his podcast and stuff like that. But yeah, rather famously, he was giving a game a 6 out of 10. It was Kane and Lynch, one of the Kane and Lynch games. And apparently there was some kind of deal between the magazine and the game developer to give good press to the game so it would sell better. But Jeff, he held the line, and it was a very visible, very public spat, and he got let go. And then that's when he started Giant Bomb and started doing his own thing after that, right? So we were saying, okay, well, when did the buying out? When did the buying out occur? You know, when did these so that was a confirmed case of a magazine purchase or selling a good review to a game company who was trying to get their game off the ground. That was confirmed because of the highly publicized like issues that were going on. Famitsu has also been accused of the same thing. Because again, Famitsu has given out perfect scores for a handful of games that have no business being perfect scores. And so what I just spent like the past 30 minutes doing after I finished playing this racing game was looking at a list of all the perfect scores that were on Famitsu. It was like a Wikipedia. Actually, in case you guys want to follow along here, this was the Wikipedia article I was looking at. Let's see. And so there's a section in there about perfect scores. All the 40s. All the homies, all the 40s. And a couple of near perfect scores after that. You know, and it's just interesting. Like I'm positing. Positing, is that what I want to say? My theory is that things started becoming really sus around 2010, 2011. But what Vector is saying is that 2007 is really kind of where it was getting weird, right? Famitsu historically in the early years in the late 1990s, they were very, very, very hesitant to hand out perfect scores. You know, the first game on the list, Ocarina of Time, 98. Next year, Soul Calibur. Year after that, Vagrant Story. And it would be 3 years before they would give another game a perfect score. 2 years after that, another perfect score. And it's usually only 1 or 2 games, right? Then 2008, they got like 3 or 4 games they got perfect scores. And then 2009 got 4 games. A lot of them are Nintendo centric, right? So on and so forth. What I was thinking was right around Skyward Sword, Elder Scrolls 13.2, that's when things were really sussy. And then the fever pitch for me, where it was like clearly something's wrong here, was the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure game on PS3. The JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle has been ported to the PS4 since then. It has a version on the PS4 and it has a version on PC. You can actually buy it on Steam now, and those are different versions from this game, but they're all the same core game. The only difference is the versions that came out on PS4 and on Steam include, I think, all the DLC characters, and they added like tag team battles and stuff like that after the fact. But Famitsu claimed when this game came out, it was a perfect score, and it did not deserve a perfect score. I'm a fan of JoJo. I imported that game from Japan. I got a PS3 specifically to play that game, and I was so disappointed. So I can tell you from experience that yes, it was a love letter, But my God, did that game not deserve a perfect score? There's no way. In no world did that game deserve a perfect score. Things were going downhill when they forgot to give Seventh Cross a 40 out of 40. Hey, yo, man, the fact that 2 Dreamcast games, one got a perfect score and one got a 39 out of 40, that's a big deal to me. That's a real big deal to me, man. Freaking... And Virtual On? Like, Virtual On getting a 39? That's wild to me. I'll take 2. For as how short-lived the DC was, 2 games at perfect or near perfect, I'm all for it, man. But anyway, you know, if I had the time, Vector, I would go back and like do that research I was saying. But my God, I don't know that I can do that. It's a lot of effort. A lot of effort and time. Although, you know, I would read it. I would read an article if someone wrote about it, like the history of Famitsu's scores and how sussy they are and all that stuff. That's definitely like a pretty important thing. You know, nowadays people don't even look at individual reviewers. That's the other thing. We've gotten to the point now where an individual reviewer doesn't matter. What matters now is the Metacritic. And like I was saying earlier, the Metacritic for some game companies is literally how they determine how certain people get bonuses or whether or not they get fired, which is insane. That is insane to me. Reviews determining whether or not you get paid or you lose your job is absolutely nutty. Like that makes freaking no sense to me. And it's been a downhill battle ever since. Because now it's people get fired the moment, even if they have a successfully reviewed game nowadays. Games that were like darlings that came out that people loved and thought it was great, they freaking drop the roller. I think about was it Hi-Fi Rush? That's one of them. I think about Roller Dome. Roller Dome is, by all accounts, everybody loved that game, and that went through a whole rigmarole of like mess in terms of like people being let go. And now like entire swaths of people, game developers from every freaking game company, they're all doing the same thing. All the management is dropping entire chunks of staff. Like, it's insane. It's a bloodbath out there. And I don't know that gaming at high budgets is sustainable anymore. It really doesn't seem that way to me. So it's hard to say, man. You know, I'm not gonna say MGS didn't cause this, because it, you know, Kojomi was Kojomi. The whole reason why he got fired was because he was spending too much money. But he wasn't the only guy. You can't put all the blame on him, because other companies followed suit. Other companies, it was just too many people involved, hundreds of staff, 300 plus staff, like 300 plus people to make a single game. And then that is what caused the live service scourge, right? If you think about it, how are you going to justify keeping that many people on staff making games? Well, if you change the type of game into something that's live service that constantly gets updated and people keep paying into the ecosystem, then potentially you could keep a staff of 300, 400, 500 people on to maintain the game, right? As long as your game is profitable, you're always going to have those people on staff. So yeah, having that many people on staff is a live service as a result of live service stuff, or I should say live service stuff probably came about as justification, part of the justification, you know, the biggest justification being making money, obviously, but keeping those people on payroll to keep working. And then it becomes a balancing game. Okay, how many people can I cut from my team but still have a viable game that's still bringing in lots of money, right? And then that's when you start undercutting yourself. That's when companies start saying, okay, I can get rid of 50% of my workforce, but we can still maintain the game here and the gamers won't mind and blah, blah, blah. Like, that's C-suite machinations, man. That's the stuff I can't stand. The purity of the art, the purity of the game gets lost whenever you start talking about, like, money and trying to keep the bills and being as profitable as possible and returning positive results for your investors and all this other crap. That's the stuff that drives me nuts. Anyway, I think I rambled enough. I wasn't expecting to go into a extended discussion about this stuff, but you know, it happens. Every time I stream too late, I turn into a werewolf. I start talking about the state of the gaming the state of the gaming development sphere. Anyway, appreciate you guys hanging out, man. I'm not going to be here this weekend. I was going to stream earlier in the week. Couldn't do it. A lot of people were playing games. Vector was playing Silent Hill F. I was actually enjoying that. I was enjoying what he was doing. So I was watching him yesterday. So today after work, I got off work early. I was like, okay, if I don't stream now, I'm not going to stream again until next month at this rate. So I decided to sit down, play this game. I had fun. It was cool. We went through the upper tier of this racing parking garage. Let me get the actual name of this game. Parking Garage Rally. Anyway, well, I think I can share the link to them, right? Can I share a link directly to their page? Show game details. Is there a way to share a link to the Steam page? Is that a thing you can do? Yeah, you should be able to do, right? Y'all stay classy now, you hear? Silly Southern sayings. That's weird. I thought I could open up a thing to like share a page directly, but I guess I can't, huh? Anyway, want to thank y'all for the raids. Appreciate y'all coming in here with the raids. That was pretty tight. Jova, who's still hopefully in the chat. I'm not sure if you're stuck around this entire time, but if you did, I appreciate you. Thank you for raiding in with your good folks, and thank you for the new follows. That was cool. We got GamerTaku01, and we got that. I was about to say Scuzz Obama, but that's not the name. It's Scuzz Orama. And of course, my wife gave me a sub, so that was very nice of her. So thank you. But yeah, I'm probably not gonna be. I'm gonna be out of pocket this weekend. I think I'm going to like a wedding or something, so I won't be much. I probably won't be much online. If you guys are streaming this weekend, I'll try to hop in. I almost always have my phone with me, but I have a feeling I'm going to be a little bit preoccupied this weekend. So if you don't see me, apologies in advance. And next time I go live, maybe not the next time, but I floated the idea with PSU Love Me since we were able to successfully do it before. I would like to do like a jam sesh, a Twitch jam sesh, another shared chat thing with all the folks that are in here that are interested. You know what I'm saying? I think it would be fun. I had a blast doing it with the PSU Love Me. It was completely impromptu, unplanned. We were just trying to do it so we can get the stupid emote here. This one right here. This player 2 emote. But I felt like there is definitely potential there. And if we got together and did like some kind of cool, like maybe all play the same game. Anyway, the point is I want to share chat because I felt like it was a pretty cool way to share our communities, but then also get other people in that might not know about us. And, you know, we can like work together. Just, what is it? Rising tide floats all boats or whatever the phrasing is. You get what I'm trying to say here. I'm trying to build a community. So I think it would be a cool idea if we could get together and maybe talk about that and see who, first and foremost, see who would be interested in doing it, right? Like actually wanting to engage in the whole process, but then on top of that, planning something around it. Now, what it would be, I don't know. I mean, I would not be opposed to doing like another, like for example, that one time that we did that Virtua Fighter stream, we had a bunch of people in the chat, something like that. Maybe not with as many people. I think last time we had like 5 folks on there. But like if it was all streamers and we were all playing Virtua Fighter, for example, that could be something cool, I think. So if y'all guys are down, you know, we can talk about it later. You have me on Discord, so I'm not gonna do a raid. I'm gonna pass out here shortly after I get off. So I appreciate y'all. Take care. Good night, and we'll talk to you later.